mantra instead of money and wealth. Your japa beats are your ticket back to Godhead. Prabhupada.
Okay, okay. Hold on, let me find that.
Huh?
Okay, let's see.
There's no difference though. Yeah.
All right. No, why don't we have a reference? We should find a reference.
Yeah.
All right. So we're live on Facebook and YouTube, Bhanu Prabhu, on your channel, We Love Radha Krishna, and my channel, The Vedic Student, on YouTube. So anyone who's watching this gathering, we're having an Ishtagoshti discussion based on Srila Prabhupada's Vani. You know, Srila Prabhupada is present in his Vani form, and we're having a discussion. Everyone here is treated equally, you know, coming new to Krishna consciousness. And then today we'll have a discussion of what do you think is most important about Krishna consciousness, or anything you want to share. So Bhanu Prabhu, you can share whatever you like, or maybe I can start. Then maybe Matthew Prabhu and you. So let's draw from Srila Prabhupada's repository of transcendental wisdom, from his books, conversations, lectures, whatever. But let's also quote him and then share according to our realization, you know, whatever. I'm 36 years old in this body here, and I'll draw from my experience and my understanding. So anyone who's watching this online, they can join on our Zoom or on Facebook. I can post the link there. Just ask for the link and you can come on. All right. Manu Prabhu?
Okay. I'll share the screen.
Jai, go ahead. Jai, Prabhupada, Jai. Yes, Bhanu Prabhu, go ahead. You can read it. Then let's everyone read it together. You know, you read it, I read it, then Matthew Prabhu can read it.
To serve the pure devotee is better than to serve Krishna directly. If the pure devotee says, "I'll take you back to Godhead," Krishna has to abide.
Jai.
Prabhupada's Srimad Bhagavatam lecture 7.3.76.
To serve the pure devotee is better than to serve Krishna directly. If the pure devotee says, quote, "I'll take you back to Godhead," unquote, Krishna has to abide. Right.
To serve the pure devotee is better than to serve Krishna directly. If the pure devotee says, "I'll take you back to Godhead," Krishna has to abide.
Jai Bhanu Prabhu. Wonderful quote. So share your realization on it. Sorry, I put you on the spot. Go ahead.
Maybe it's Kripa Siddhi.
Kripa Siddhi.
Maybe it's talking about Kripa Siddhi.
Yeah, this is very important. To serve the pure devotee is better than to serve Krishna directly. So there's some key words here. Serve the pure devotee. You know, let's look at the serve part. You know, in our Krishna conscious lives or everyday lives, we're serving someone, right? Either we're serving our wife, children, boss, whatever. But the best type of service is service to the pure devotee, right? And we have the pure devotee here in our lives, Srila Prabhupada, his instructions, his mission and vision, you know, his transcendental storehouse of what he wanted to achieve. And we have orders of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu himself. So we're serving, you know, the Vaishnava Acharyas through the instructions of Srila Prabhupada, you know, either by following it or by implementing it in our lives, by talking to others about it. And then we're, you know, going back to the parampara, you know, to service of Krishna. And then it's a wonderful thing, right, Matthew Prabhu? Serving the pure devotee.
Jai.
What, you know, what is your realization which you want to share with us?
Well, Srila Prabhupada wanted there to be Sankirtan and book distribution, and I really noticed that just going out and doing that, it's always ecstatic.
Hmm. Right. Right. Yeah.
So
Anyone
we
who
were,
is, yes, Bhanu Prabhu.
so we were kind of off this. I mean, we were thinking that we have to work our way to become Uttamadhikari on, so completely on us to work our way and go back to Godhead. But here it says that the pure devotee can do it. I mean, he can take you back to Godhead.
Yes. Yes.
If he,
So can you elaborate? Are you trying to say that the pure devotee, you're serving the pure devotee, and then the pure devotee, if you don't want to go back to Godhead, the pure devotee will take you there? I mean,
no, maybe it's talking about the sincere devotee who's serving Krishna
yes,
and Prabhupada.
yes, yes,
He could bestow mercy on him and he'll say,
yeah. I
if
mean,
we want him back to Godhead, Krishna has to abide by it.
yes. So we can see in the society that Srila Prabhupada created, ISKCON, I think Srila Prabhupada initiated 5,000 disciples, right? At least that's what I hear. And many of these disciples, they rendered amazing service to Srila Prabhupada, but eventually things didn't work out so well. But, that service doesn't go unnoticed. But still, it comes to the individual person that Srila Prabhupada is extremely merciful, but if we don't accept the mercy, meaning that we don't take up the discipline, we don't take up, some kind of tangible service, as well as doing our own personal sadhana and then helping others, we don't really progress so fast, right, Bhanu Prabhu? Ishan Prabhu was saying that the League for 10Ks also. So anyone who directly participates, they do their chanting, that's great, but also the missionary activities, they feel a lot of happiness, satisfaction.
Right.
That's my experience.
Since we feel happy, since if Krishna has come into our life,
Yes,
we would also like to give that happiness to others by preaching.
yes. Yeah, another example is here. We can see and draw from the Srimad Bhagavatam that whenever these great Mahajans like Brahma give benediction or Lord Shiva gives benediction, because they're pure devotees, Lord Krishna does not violate that blessing given given by the Mahajans. You know that
Right.
Mahabharata is a very great example. Before the war started, Yudhishthira Maharaj went to all the Kshatriya Maharatis and asked for benedictions. And we can see that, being pure devotees, they all blessed him that you are going to win. So we see here that even though Krishna is giving these benedictions, he doesn't, uh, he doesn't violate that benediction given by Brahma to these other living entities. But the living entity has a free will to misuse that benediction. Shushupal wanted to take the chakra of Lord Krishna. And he said, "Oh," Lord Krishna asked him, "What are you going to do with this chakra? I would have used it on you." You know, you got the chakra, he said. So just see, being devotees of Krishna or aspiring devotees of Krishna, then I'll take you back to Godhead. So it's simple, I think, at least for me to understand these things, simple concepts, but to apply it and follow by it and live a life by it, that's a little difficult.
I've heard some serious wisdom about the great boon of having a guru that's a pure devotee.
Jai,
Uh,
please elaborate.
like if you're wanting to serve deities, you can go on and like make preparations for them and everything. But if you don't have that realization of everything, that you don't get any feedback from the murti of
Mhm.
Krishna. But when you serve a pure devotee, they can tell you, oh, you did all these things wrong, and this is how you should do it. That way, your service can be corrected in any way that
Jai.
be
Amazing.
improved.
Amazing realization that the pure devotee, he can directly instruct you. Be like, hey, you do it like this, do it like that. And the deity will not.
Yeah, I really like that comparison that
Hmm.
guru is like a
So
transparent medium.
like,
Transparent by medium, yes.
Yeah,
To
that
Krishna. Yes, to the disciplic succession.
makes it clearer.
Yeah. So this is one of the reasons why we're discussing on this pure devotee. In the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, it's taken that, everyone is a pure devotee, or every one of the initiated gurus are pure devotees. But we have to identify what is actually pure devotee and what is Kanishta, Madhyam, and Uttamadakari. The Krishna or Rupa Goswami himself says that one must be able to identify these three levels of devotees, right? In the Nectar of Instruction, verse 5. And he says that initiation should be taken from an Uttamadakari devotee. So, I think all of the problems have arisen because of this neglect of not people. Banu yes, you can share another quote. People take pure devotional service as that everyone is a pure devotee. No, no. Krishna says himself that after many, many births, you know, one becomes a pure devotee. Or a personality like Srila Prabhupada, he comes down after many, many, uh, many, many years. And then that's what I realized, that if everyone followed the example of Srila Prabhupada, take his take him as the pure devotee standard, then there won't be any difficulties in our spiritual lives also. Uh, my experience over the past 10 years or whatever, I've seen so many devotees talk about their gurus falling down and how it was damaging to their personal lives. You know, how it was very difficult for them when the guru fell down. And then many women, they suffer a lot when the guru falls down because they take him on the level of Srila Prabhupada without doing the proper study, without having ishtagoshtis, without having discussions.
so can you give an example? What happened after some of them realized that they fell down in this call?
Oh, well, there's many examples we can draw from the guru falling down. For example, here in our group, Chidananda Prabhu was there. He was promised that Bhagavan would take him back to Godhead, but just a few years later, he left the movement. And a lot of people took reinitiation, and then the guru fell down again. You know, the guru fell down again, the next guru fell down, the next guru. So the institution perpetuates this false understanding that you must have a living guru. And they have no idea that Srila Prabhupada is already the guru, because we're already coming, through his books, lectures, and he reciprocates according to the level of surrender, because Krishna is already within the heart of every living entity. What's the difficulty to not understand this point? He's there. And if you follow the pure devotee's instructions, it's automatic. I mean, that's been, my life experience. I think everyone here also.
I mean, the way Narayan Prabhu put it, like he was thinking that Bhagavan was a pure devotee, and so he wasn't actually, in that way he was rendering.
You mean Chidananda Prabhu?
Yeah.
Chidananda Prabhu was looking at Bhagavan as a pure devotee. Yes, it's insufficient guidance. It's saying the part of insufficient guidance as living entities. If we don't
No,
accept
like the basil plant, they were
what?
worshipping the basil plant, but actually,
Oh yes, but because because his faith was strong. He, even though the guru fell down, he you know he didn't take it too seriously because he was connected nicely.
In
You
their
know?
mind, they were thinking they were worshipping the pure devotees. So
Yeah,
nothing is lost because
yeah.
that not right.
But that is not lost. But they should come to this, right understanding. If you don't come to the right understanding, then obviously, then your guru falls down. Then you'll be looking for another guru. You know what I'm saying? And then the next
Yeah,
guru falls down.
yeah.
So education is very important. I think that is what's lacking in ISKCON because they have made it like more of like a business with money, following, temples. No one's having ishtagoshtis. No one knows what an ishtagoshti is. Discussion of doubts. Matthew Prabhu, do you attend ishtagoshtis in your sangha there? Do you have ishtagoshtis?
This is the only one.
This is only one. Wow, interesting. How big is the place there? I mean, the congregation there. A couple of hundred people.
Yeah. I mean, it like varies. Yeah, but before COVID and everything, the Sunday programs they probably like more than 100.
Wow. See, so
Yeah,
people had ishtagoshtis discussions together, like we're having online. A lot of things can be resolved. Right?
definitely.
And it's very important for our personal growth also because living in the material world, we have issues, we have doubts.
I've seen it where the like congregation can seem very political and not like what we're doing here, that free to express uh,
Yes.
and
Yes.
and bring conclusion to any like misunderstanding.
Yes. That's what I've realized. That I've tried to talk to the devotees here in Sacramento, ISKCON of Sacramento, regarding these things, but they're not really interested in any discussions. They don't want to talk about things, and this is perpetuating the differences because we cannot talk about it openly. You know, we have to come to some solution. Like, okay, we have to discuss who's the guru, what's the qualifications of the guru, how did Srila Prabhupada wanted the institution to go on after his disappearance, how every living entity is an individual living entity and they can engage in, they should be encouraged in whatever way they can serve Krishna naturally, what comes naturally to them. And, these things are being neglected. And this is why we have all this anxiety. Prabhu, back to the anxiety. Why you took it out? That was the quote I was leading to.
Isn't reference proper reference? Anyway, you can read it. So this thing kind of relates to the whole
It's not
situation.
reference?
Reference transcendental dairy, it seems.
Yes. I'm saying, don't be in anxiety. That's all. Anyone who has come to this material world will die. One is going to die today, another is going to die tomorrow. It is a question of first and second, but everyone will die. So before death, one should be. So before, what was it? So before death, one should be in Krishna consciousness. That's
One
it.
should be
Success of life.
Complete.
One should be complete in Krishna consciousness. That is success of life. Srila Prabhupada. Wow. Don't be in anxiety. So it brings the point back to, we're not these bodies. Our bodies are changing and death is guaranteed. So if something is guaranteed, then why not, learn about that and then understand it that you're not this body.
So we're gaining something which is permanent asset.
Yes.
That makes fearless.
Right.
You're not gaining something which we are gonna lose after this life or anything, even if we don't complete it. Krishna consciousness is anxiety free.
Yeah, we were talking about that verse, Brahma Bhuta Prasantatma, na sochati na kanchati. You know, a devotee who's on the Brahma Bhuta platform, he has no anxiety because he knows, he's part and parcel of Krishna. And then, whatever's happening in his life is for the benefit. Krishna is teaching him something. So he's always detached from the bodily conception of life. Or maybe not even detached, but he can see how the modes of nature are working on him, on his consciousness, on his body, around his surrounding, how these things are working. But he's detached from it. Okay, yeah, it's happening, but it's not really actually reality. Yeah. So before death, one should be complete in Krishna consciousness. So what is complete Krishna consciousness, Bhanu Prabhu, if I may ask you?
Becoming an Uttamadhikari,
Yeah.
establishing yourself in a relationship with Krishna.
Hmm. What's the definition of complete Krishna consciousness, Matthew Prabhu?
Bhagavan realization or Uttamadhikari.
Jai. Yes. Yes. Ah, very good. I mean, how old are you, Matthew, by the way?
6.
Huh?
26.
Oh, you're 26. Okay. You came in Krishna consciousness what, about 10 years ago? Or what?
About 8.
About 8 years ago, I see. What book did you read? Or what books have you read when you were new? Or when you started?
I first had Chant and Be Happy.
Right.
And then Bhagavad Gita, the Macmillan edition. I think is the one that had the edit where they took out the raspberry liquor planet. Right?
Yes, Planet of the Pitris, yes.
Yeah.
Trees, yes. Right. You read the whole thing, huh?
Yeah.
And then after that, you came in association with devotees, or were you in association with devotees simultaneously while you were reading? Meaning,
Yeah, I was definitely my first coming into Krishna consciousness was walking into the temple. I mean, actually, well, my mom bought some holy Tulsi basil and gave it to me in tea bags. Now,
right,
I've learned now we're not supposed to cook Tulsi at all, but that's what I was doing, was having Tulsi tea
right,
in this lifetime first.
right, right. So you
And was walking into the temple.
nice. So Hare Krishna, Mahaprabhu
Hare
Das.
Hari Bol.
Hari Bo.
Hare Krishna.
All right. Hari Bol.
Yeah. Looks like Narayan Prabhu might not be joining us. It's just us four for tonight. Looks like. So
That's perfectly okay.
Jai. So then, when you came in association with devotees, some 8-9 years ago or whatever, you were what? You were 20. You're 19 or something, right?
I think 18. Yeah.
18. Yeah, that's nice.
I think.
So you immediately took up. You immediately took up this Krishna consciousness, and then what were your experiences? Your new coming and then going to the temple. How has it changed from then to now? Like, can you describe the gradual changes? Like,
Okay, so at first, like, just drinking that Tulsi tea, I had a really cool dream that everything alive was in kind of like a boundless universal tribe of everything alive.
mm-hmm.
And like we would all work together down to like microbes. We would make sure that all the little small microbes were satisfied. And everyone was doing their part. And so my part was like kind of like a SWAT team, or like a what is it? A air marshal. that like, you know, people, they're like next to me and they don't even notice anything's different about me, but I'm like being vigilant and stuff. And so like my team that was like part of like the congregation that was like kind of in like some kind of classroom thing, we would actually be fighting these artificial intelligent like robot things and viruses. But like it was kind of like a war, but it wasn't like war as hell at all, because it was so one-sidedly victorious all the time that life was always winning. So it was just like something we were doing for life. And the interesting thing about it is that the currency that we would do like in exchange for favors, like, you know, just currency with all of the members of life, was Tulsi leaves. And I had only been drinking the Tulsi tea, and it was like, you know, ground up. So I had never seen Tulsi leaves in this lifetime. And so like I had that dream, I saw the Tulsi in my dream. And when I walked into the temple for a Mangala Arti for the first time in this lifetime, like I was just like totally blown away, like what's going on? And they were one of the members of the congregation here at the temple. I think I walked in at the Japa period, like, and so he like explained, right now we're doing silent meditation, and he gave me some Tulsi beads.
Wow.
And he showed me there's like the Maha Mantra on the wall. He said, first you say this top mantra, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda.
Right.
And then he's Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You do that on each of these beads, and it'll be 108 times. And then once you do that, you do the top mantra again, and you don't chant on the guru bead, and you go back around and like.
Wow.
And then when the Tulsi Arti was happening, I like still like didn't know what was going on, but I actually recognized that Tulsi from my dream. It's,
Wow, mystical experience you had from your
right.
previous life. So you can see that you are, you know, progressing in your Krishna consciousness. How you came very fast at a very, you know, ripe time. And, you know, you were 18, and wow, amazing. Go ahead.
Hare Krishna.
Haribol.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of stuff has happened, like coming to all these realizations, like that the whole like politics has really no place in ISKCON.
Yeah, politics has no place in ISKCON. Yeah, that's the thing, you know. It's very simple philosophy that if someone, that's the thing, you know, if someone comes out from the street, you know, they're, you know, practicing, whatever, they're from the outside world coming to Krishna consciousness. And once they see duplicity and, you know, the different gurus and factions among the devotees, they get turned off, you know, and and if they study the history of the movement, you know, they'll be like, oh, this is what's going on. And no one can have a conversation regarding what happened, why it happened in the temple environment, because that would question the management or they question the leaders. They don't like to talk about these things.
Even though
Right.
Srila warns against lording it over the material world.
Yeah, yeah. And as aspiring devotees, you know, one thing is that we should, you know, speak the truth, and then, you know, have so like you said, you know, these things have no no, you know, no stand
The
in.
best thing is that we have a system which we can follow. Like we can chant, we can read the books, we can hear lectures.
Right.
Thing is there. The system is there which we can follow and perfect the Kanishta Adhikari platform.
Right.
Awesome.
Right.
not being dependent on the gurus or whatever they're doing,
Mm-hmm.
initiators, whatever. Not being dependent on them.
Yes. So I think your experience has been, you have, experienced a lot, just like myself. I came when I was up probably like 28 or something. When I started. I'm 36 now, so it's been some time. So I gradually kind of saw that, and then I was not so interested in the politics and this and that. But as a follower, as as starting off in our Krishna consciousness, we follow people, right? Follow people and see things, and then I kind of saw that, and then I started taking charge of my own spiritual life, meaning that forget these people who are just creating politics and making groups and you know having group think. I slowly started to come out of that bubble, and that kind of gave me a fresh outlook on, okay, yeah, there's life beyond this so-called group. The groups are nice, but what if all the people have a different understanding, or the people don't get along, right?
Yeah. What I was
I-
trying to do was like kind of like peace keep, but I've heard Srila Prabhupada say in one of his lectures that when we disturb someone that is in ignorance, it can be like waking someone up and they're really mad at you. But then you're like, hey, I woke you up because this guy's over here is trying to kill you. It's like actually a great favor.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's something to definitely watch out for. What he describes as being a mad elephant, wrecking the whole garden. But
Right. Yeah.
if we can just get that like Krishna consciousness realization to them without putting them off, that's like the sweet spot.
Yeah, that's the beauty for experienced devotees like Srila Prabhupada. Whenever people met Srila Prabhupada, they felt like they could trust him and they could have a conversation with him and they could reveal their problems to him, and he would not judge them. You know, he would advise them. He would tell them how to do things, but it was up to the individual to take care of his or her own spiritual life, right? That and this is the beauty of Krishna consciousness as individuals. And in the Ishtagoshti, we have discussions, and then we go from there, from our realization.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mahaprabhu, please say something.
I love the conversation. Thank you so much.
No problem. What do you love?
I love the fact that we interact.
Jai. Yeah.
Yes, very important.
Yes. Yeah, because the material world is full of interactions, because the jiva, big part and parcel of Krishna.
We have to remember to keep the jiva in everything we do.
Keep
Yeah,
the jiva, or no, not keep the jiva. We have to, understand.
Be the jiva.
Yes, we are the spirit. I am spirit soul, and everyone else is spirit soul. They're individuals.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, yes.
We are not material beings having an earthly experience. We are spiritual beings having an earthly materialistic experience, is what I believe.
Yes. Yeah.
We are part and parcel of the jiva, the soul.
No, we're part and parcel
Spirit.
of Krishna.
Amen.
Yeah, we're part and parcel of Krishna. Just like a drop of salt water is, salty, just like the big ocean. So,
We have to keep reminding ourselves of that.
yeah, that's why we have these Ishtagoshtis and Prabhupada's books, lectures, conversations, to remind us that we're not these bodies.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
Jai.
I'm sorry Naya Narayan is not with us tonight.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
We're having our little discussion. So, Matthew Prabhu, what's your plans? Like, you're 26 26, right? 26?
Yes.
So young. I wish I was 26 again.
But no, you are 26. You can remember when you were 26. Then immediately you become 26.
Hare Krishna.
So what are your plans for the future, Matthew Prabhu? Are you going to go to school, college, or are you going to, are you going to develop a community, start a temple? Well, what's your,
And Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. I am really interested in going to Mayapur.
right. You want to go there, right?
Yeah.
You want to stay there permanently or visit first?
Yeah.
Or?
He said I could I like if I just have a passport, he'd fly me there, give me citizenship, and just I could live the rest of my life in Mayapur and Vrindavan. But I mean, I also want to like go to other temples too, and I'm real interested in that Desi cow project.
You're interested in it, or?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a passport at the moment, but
Right.
yeah, I mean, like, I'd like to see like this whole thing with these cows here in Houston resolved, like just these three that like if they could have somewhere to go, because they're Robert's cows, and if they're not letting him stay on the property, it's like doesn't make much sense. It'd be nice to have a place for them to go.
What do you mean? They have cows, but they don't have grazing land, or what's going
No,
on?
well, yeah, it's like 9 acres.
Okay.
But like it's not like all for the cows. It's like, I mean, it is mostly like for the cows, but there's like a farming thing, and like the just like that I hear complaints from the Matajis, like it's really like, what are we where's the shelter? That's the
What?
thing.
Where's the shelter?
Yeah, where's the shelter? Like because just I mean when they're like making people like really off put, like just by the way that they're like so lording it over and like pushing them out. Like it'd be nice like to have some like sadhu sangha like that's actually not kind of like under those people's rule, I guess. So I mean, just like some place where like those 3 cows could stay, because I mean, I guess the cows are doing fine, but just like to put Robert's mind at ease, like that it's like if they could have some like they're not getting them pregnant for some reason, like they're not bringing a bull in.
I see. They're not following the system, which is required.
They're just like showing them off to people that want to like stop by the farm and like.
I see.
Just,
yeah. Okay.
Yeah, Bhakta program. The boys, they're fine. Like they're like just doing Sankirtan and distributing the books and everything. But like to just like have a more of a system where it's like actually honoring everyone and not being like the.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. So the system of honoring devotees and being nice to them, giving them, adequate facility, these things are being neglected from what I hear from you.
Yeah, that's what I heard from like that Mataji. She's like, oh, he doesn't like me, and like he's the
yeah.
the manager.
Yeah, that's the thing. When we become dependent on the institution for our needs, and there's a boss there, and the boss doesn't like you, or that person doesn't like you, so you're at their mercy basically, right? Instead
Right.
of the person being an ideal leader and encouraging every living entity to take up whatever natural service they can, and then
Yeah, especially since that's how it was before all this like managers came.
yeah, so we have to bring that mood back here, as individuals. We cannot impose anything. We have a difference of opinion, but why should I boss you around? You boss me around.
Yeah.
That's what I've experienced here in Sacramento too. The management system is that if you're not part of the clique or part of this Guru system, yeah, I mean, you're not. You can be disposed of any time.
I agree.
They have made the same politics in Mayapur also. I mean, it's full of politics, and it's not Dham atmosphere. The Dham atmosphere has been ruined over there.
Mm-hmm.
So it's wherever you do devotion, that place becomes a holy place. Vrindavan.
Jai!
Haribo, Jai.
So you can
Yeah.
visit those places.
Yeah.
You want.
This last quote you put up reminded me of something. I was thinking like
Put it
about.
back up, Bhanu Prabhu. Can you put it back up? The quote?
It's kind of like, you might think it's like a misnomer, but I was thinking, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he said, "Go on and print books." I'm thinking like these other people, they just want to keep printing new, different books of the same Srila Prabhupada. Like they want to change it up instead of printing the book.
Mahaprabhu, you want to read this?
But yeah, I mean, we've got the originals that
Jai.
so.
Mahaprabhu, can you read this wonderful Pearls of Wisdom by Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur?
You're talking to me, Ramachandra Singh Das.
Yes, Prabhu. Can you read this?
I have to enlarge it. Oh, one moment.
Okay. You're a wonderful reader.
Oh, come on now.
Haribol.
Haribol. Oh, I can't seem to get it. Okay, let's see if I can read it in the small sense. I can't get it enlarged. Here we go.
Go ahead.
Here we go.
Hang on.
Uh-oh. There we go.
Mahaprabhu, zoom in a little bit.
Yeah, zoom in a little bit. There we go. A little bit more. Hey, perfect. The charity. Wow. That means doing something for others.
Yeah.
Charity. The charity given by millions of magnanimous donors is insignificant. Doesn't mean anything.
Yeah.
Compared to the magnanimous nature of the preachers of the holy names. Hare Krishna.
Wow.
It's not about money. It's about spirit.
Yes, the spirit.
That's what I get out of it.
You got it.
Sharing this.
The charity given by millions of magnanimous donors. Those that have a lot of money, they're going to don, they're going to do, what do they call that? Charity.
Right.
Is insignificant.
Right.
Compared to the magnanimous nature of the preachers, the true preachers of the holy names. There's a lot of false preachers out there.
Yeah.
But
you figured that
one more time. The charity given by millions of magnanimous donors is insignificant compared to the magnanimous nature of the preachers of the holy names. Hare Krishna. So true.
Amazing. Jai.
So billions of dollars given in charity is
fantastic.
Billions of dollars given in charity is nothing compared to the magnanimous nature of the ones who preach the holy name of Mahamantra. That's what it's meaning.
Jai.
We need to come from the heart.
Yes, the pure heart.
It's all about the heart, not the money.
Yes. And
Krishna.
And I mean, look, Prabhupada's magnanimous nature. Huh? What is
Hare
magnanimous
Krishna.
nature? He came at the age of 69, 70 to America, and then he chanted
Fantastic.
Hare Krishna. And that's why we're here. If it
Hare
wasn't for
Krishna.
him, who knows where we would be? There wouldn't have been a Hare Krishna movement. So
So can we say that he was the messenger?
yeah, more than a messenger,
He's Shaktivesh avatar.
Yeah.
One sense is a avatar of Krishna. He's empowered by Krishna. Energy of Krishna is flowing in him.
Yeah. So by that, this whole movement started, because
he
he
is
chanted
he is the messenger of whom? Of
Krishna,
Chamachandra?
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu,
Ah.
Lord Krishna himself,
Who was the head?
the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He's the head, Krishna.
Okay, it's Krishna.
Yes.
Krishna is not a messenger.
Krishna
No.
is the supreme personality of Godhead.
He is the man or
Yeah.
the woman. He is the one.
He's the one.
Got it.
Right.
Okay. Amazing quote, Bhanu Prabhu. Matthew, Prabhu, you
Fantastic.
want to share something that you've been reading?
Well, that did remind me about it's a quote in the Chaitanya Charanamrita that the countless votes of unqualified people to name an acharya do not mean anything. They are the disciples of Kali.
Yeah.
So,
Wow.
Can you say, Prabhu? Can you say again? I missed it.
the
One more time.
countless votes of the unqualified to name an acharya do not count. They are the disciples of Kali. There might be like some details to that quote, but that's what the message.
Yes. That's a quote by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. That one person might have tilak, very nice tilak, and kanti mala, but if you study his personal life, what kind of things he does, it's all against scripture.
And it really makes me think of that Nityananda Prabhu. He broke the danda of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Yeah.
And the scripture at that part is nobody could understand why Nityananda did the things that he did. And a reflection I have from that is that Lord Nityananda, he had no false prestige. He wasn't doing it for the recognition. He was doing it for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Try.
Breaking his danda, even though nobody understood at the time.
Yeah, I mean, if you see Srila Prabhupada's wonderful presentation of Krishna consciousness, if you saw him, you probably wouldn't know that he was, this great personality. He was always very humble, very disconnected in a sense where he was not so much attached to, the whole, empire of Krishna consciousness. What he started. He even said, many things. The books, the temples may fail, the devotees might go away, but his books will, live forever. So, Lord Nityananda Prabhu. Oh, Manu Prabhu, you sharing something?
This is about the Jagaya and Mada incident with the Lord
Okay.
Nityananda.
Maybe someone can read it. Matthew Prabhu, please.
Okay. Lord Nityananda, when passing on the street, saw a crowd of people howling at some incident, and on inquiry, it was found out there were two rascals of the then named Jagai and Madhai. They were always disturbing people in drunken condition. Nityananda Prabhu thought it wise that these two brothers may be delivered so that Lord Chaitanya's mercy could be well known all over the world. When Lord Nityananda approached them, he was immediately hurt by violent attack. On this incident, Lord Chaitanya became very angry and he called for his Sudarshan Chakra to kill these debauchees.
Mm.
Lord Nityananda then implored Lord Chaitanya not to kill Jagai and Madhai, but to save them. By this time, Jagai and Madhai came to their senses, and immediately they surrendered unto both the lords and were delivered by the mercy of Lord Nityananda.
Jai.
So, Lord Nityananda, or Baladev, is the original spiritual master, and such pure devotee sometimes takes the risk of life in order to reclaim a person who might have otherwise been rejected by the Lord. The devotee knows that the Lord wants all the fallen souls to come back to home, and therefore the devotee always tries to induce the conditioned soul to take to Krishna consciousness by various ways and means. Therefore, the conclusion is that a devotee is more kind than the Lord himself.
Jai.
Brought us right back to the first quote we did tonight.
Yeah. Amazing. Bhanu Prabhu, amazing quote. Let's see. I'd like to pick out this part here, the last part. The devotee knows that the Lord wants all the fallen souls to come back to home, and therefore the devotee always tries to induce the conditioned souls to take to Krishna consciousness by various ways and means. Therefore, the conclusion is that a devotee is more kind than the Lord himself. I think that's the mission of the 10,000 year of the League of
Right.
Devotees. The devotees know that the Lord wants all the fallen souls to come back to home, and therefore the devotees always try to induce the conditioned souls to take to Krishna consciousness by various ways and means. Therefore, the conclusion is that a devotee is more kind than the Lord himself.
About
Jai, that's incredible.
That's the mission and vision of Srila Prabhupada and the League for 10K right there. Panu Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhu.
Jai.
Hare Krishna. Glory to Prabhupada.
Jai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Narayan. Bam, bam,
Yes.
bam.
Haribol. I'm with you
Haribol.
finally.
Hey, Prabhu, I thought we-
I don't want to say anything. Ramachandra is on a super empowered Bhakti Lata Beach. What you
This
call
is
it?
Bhanu. No, Bhanu
Spiritual
shared
part.
it. This is Bhanu sharing. This is not my creation. It's Bhanu. Bhanu Prabhu is,
Really?
Bhanu Prabhu is managing all this.
Bhanu, please accept my dandavats. Because
Jai.
that's exactly it. You've hit the League for 10K on just perfectly.
Yeah.
Why so late, Narayan? What happened to you tonight?
Well, I was installing a water purifying machine in someone's home.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, okay. Bhanu Prabhu, let's move on. Bhanu Prabhu, Matthew Prabhu, maybe you can read the
Bhanu, by the way, thank you, Bhanu. Keep going, Ramachandra. I'll listen.
Jai.
every individual read it. Every
Okay,
individual.
every individual being must have his opinion. That is the significance of individuality. But all such differences of opinion must coincide in Krishna. Every individual being must have his opinion. That is the significance of individuality. But all such differences of opinions must coincide in Krishna.
That's this whatever it is. This is a purport or letter.
This is a letter to
This should
Mandali.
be on high up on the website. Can you ask Bhanu, please put this on the website? This
Right.
exactly is everything that I clumsily tried to say. The Prabhupada said, one few words here, incredibly perfect. You see, we're not trying to have chit chat, a transcendental katha chit chat. This is it. it must be direct, and this is what he's saying is also is the ghost.
Yeah, I'm really recognizing the Wednesday conversation and all of the corrections that Banu had for you, and how your point was made and he was clarifying, and it's so nicely written here.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, so as we go forward with Srila Prabhupada, let's not just try to do stuff for entertainment or because it's cool or we like it or something of that sort. Let's go forward with what is purposeful for the 10,000 years. Everything we accumulate from Prabhupada, from each other, from Istagosti, from however we're doing it, let's make it purposeful for the 10,000 years. That's my request. That's the last I'm going to say. Keep going.
Bhanu Prabhu, what's next? We're reading.
Religion means which we cannot separate from myself.
Matthew Prabhu, can you read this part? Religion means?
Religion means.
Srila Prabhupada says, religion means.
Srila Prabhupada says, religion means which we cannot separate from myself. The religion which you can change that is not religion. Prabhupada, we should know when is the meaning of religion. Religion means which we cannot separate from myself. The religion which you can change that is not religion. Suppose I am Hindu, I become Christian. So neither this Hinduism is religion or Christian is religion. It is a dictionary, English dictionary word, but dharma. According to Sanskrit word, dharma does not mean that which you can change. I have several times explained this fact. Dharma cannot be changed. Therefore, we must find out what is our dharma, what is our religion, which we are professing that Christianity is my religion, Hinduism my religion. That is not religion. That is faith. Religion is different. Religion you cannot change. You cannot change. That is the meaning of religion. Dharma means you cannot change.
You could go on without showing your face.
Right. So amazing. Dharma. So everyone, everyone is claiming to be part of some kind of religion and group. Yeah, this is a group. Okay, yeah. So today I was having a discussion with a devotee here at ISKCON of Sacramento. He used to work with me, or he still works with me. His name is Nilachala Das. And I was explaining to him that how, you people have clumped together in a group, but, the group is going nowhere. And how can you go back to Godhead in a group? I said, forget this group mentality, come to the spiritual platform that we're individual living entities. Everyone is not, going back to God in a group. We have to do our own sadhana. And this type of group mentality, this, I belong to this, I belong to that group, I think it has bring a lot of tension in the movement, I belong to this group, ISKCON, the Ritvik, this, etc.
Right.
Perfect.
So the quote is, what you have spoken.
Everyone, the religion means an individual person is the religion.
Yeah.
The religion means my Shraddha, it's called Shraddha. My connection with Krishna is my religion, and your connection with Krishna is yours. We're flying our own airplanes, and when we have your religion, my religion together, we have ISKCON.
Right.
Real ISKCON.
Right. Jai.
Do you agree?
Yes. Prabhu.
That's what you were saying. I'm just really repeating what you were saying.
Yes, Prabhu. Okay, this is a lecture in New Vrindavan, June 25th, 1976. if we become pure devotee of Krishna, then my love will be extended to everyone, not only my society, but to everyone. It is not that, quote, this is my children, that is others' children, unquote. All children, all human beings, not my countrymen, all other countrymen, not only human beings, but even animals also. That is, what is that word? That is Sena? Banu Prabhu?
Sneha.
That is Sena.
Sneha? Sneha.
Sneha.
Oh, Sneha, Sneha. That is Sneha. It is not that, quote, I am safe and let the animals be killed in the slaughterhouses. No, that is not love. Love means for everyone. Sama sarveshu bhuteshu. Equal, equal, equality to all living entities. That is real love. That is real concern, Krishna consciousness. Wow. Powerful statement. Sneha. You know?
Extended selfishness is what people are stuck with.
Yes. Yeah, Prabhupada uses that example. The cow is not born in your land, the chicken is not born in your land. Why are you killing? Is he not national because he's taking birth in your country, right? What gives you the right to kill? So this is Prabhupada, saying here, all countrymen, all people of earth. And that verse comes into mind that Ishopanishad, that if you take more than you require, you will be punished. Right? Ishavasyam idam sarvam.
Yes.
So that's there. So this Krishna consciousness movement and Srila Prabhupada, is the only solution for the next 10,000 years. Sneha.
What does sneha mean?
Friendship.
Friendship.
Huh?
Banu Prabhu said sneha means friendship.
I understand. What it means?
Sneha. Let me look it up.
Friendship.
He's saying friendship.
Friend, you mean like being a friend?
Yeah. Friend.
Well, yeah, why not look it up? That's a very interesting word. I've heard it before.
Sneha. This word, this spelling, it's, let me see, S-H-S.
Sneha.
Oh, okay, yeah, I was spelling it wrong. Oh, Krishna. Oh, wow. Prabhupada uses, let me share the screen so we can see together. You can see here, Prabhupada using the word sneha. Right here, sneha, tied up by affection, bondage. See it here?
That is Anubandha. Anubandha.
Yeah, sneha anubandha. Yeah, right. So Prabhupada uses the synonyms. So let's go to the next meaning. Sneha, pasam, of affection. So it deals with affection. See, affection comes up again.
I'm so glad to read this because that's something I thought about Krishna. He's the most renounced, but he's got that special attachment.
Affection. See it? So it's coming up as affection, bound by pure affection. Sneha sambandha, bound up by pure affection.
Did you notice that Prabhupada said sneha, the bond of affection, or the ties of affection? The
Yeah.
connection, in other words, reciprocal or the bondage, bandhu, the affection that you are involved with that binds you and another binds with you, you bind with them. It looks like. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yes, Prabhu. I think that is it. Prabhupada uses it. Now he's using it in moistened by affection. So amazing, huh? The mother, after embracing their son, set him on their laps due to pure affection. Milk sprang from their breasts. they were overwhelmed with delight, and the tears from their eyes wetted the Lord. Sneha.
General Hindi term usage, it's called friendship, sneha.
Sneha, acha. But Prabhupada is using it here in a in Sneha, affection. He's yeah. Sneha means yeah. So he's a mental derangement due to profound affection. That's Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, huh? Mental derangement due to profound affection for Krishna. Huh? Try. So I think, Manu Prabhu, what's next? Sure.
Affection is in reciprocal, is an entanglement of affection, a network of affection, not just I like that person, that's my affection. No, it is the relationship, the way she described with the gopis' milk was springing from their breasts for Krishna. And Krishna, it's the essence of the rasa.
Try.
It looks that way, no?
Mm-hmm.
So there's this wonderful conversation telling about the disciples then rendering service to Prabhupada.
Yes. Matthew Prabhu, is it okay if you can read it? This Srila Prabhupada says.
Srila Prabhupada says, I do not pray. Oh, pardon. Srila Prabhupada says, I do not pay these boys. Rather, they pay me, and they engage the service. They pay and serve. Prabhupada, by service in the material world, if you give service, you become tired. But transcendental world, if you give service, you more become enthusiastic. Yes, more service. That is happening. I do not pay these boys. Rather, they pay me and they engage the service. They pay and serve. In the material world, as soon as you stop payment, there is no service. Why? Because they, by serving Krishna, they get transcendental pleasure. So the more you engage yourself in the service of the Lord, the more you become enthusiastic. There's no question of becoming tired. Just like I am old man. I have come from India. My age is 76 years. So still I am enthusiastic. Still I am going everywhere, all over the world. Why? Krishna's service is so nice. Even old man like me, he gets energy to work. And that's also without any salary. So Krishna's service is so nice that you try to engage yourself more and more. Then you'll get more and more Krishna conscious, more enthusiasm. This is spiritual. This is spiritual. Ahaitukya apratihata.
Yes, Apriyata.
Srimad Bhagavatam 126. The supreme occupation, dharma, for all humanity is that by which men can attain to loving devotional service unto the transcendental Lord. Such devotional service must be unmotivated and uninterrupted to completely satisfy the self. This service cannot be checked by any material condition. That I have already explained. Other service, material service, will be checked by material conditions. But transcendental loving service of Krishna will never be checked by any material condition. That is the test.
Jai.
Wow.
Arrival lecture, July 29th, 1971, Gainesville, Florida.
Jai.
Hare Krishna.
League for 10K in full speed. Service to the pure devotee. Life after life.
Rama
Yeah.
Rama.
The way you talk about League for 10K, it reminds me of a scripture that I was actually kind of hoping for some explanation is in the Nectar of Instruction. There's I think that's where it's written that there's two types of pure. Uh,
We can look it up, Matthew Prabhu.
there's two types of purity, and one is being a pure devotee, and one is making pure devotees.
making?
That's how it basically how it goes. I was trying to look for it.
If you can maybe find the reference, I can search for pure devotee and find out if something comes out.
Yeah, I'm searching for it.
Okay, no problem. So let's see. Jai. All right. Bhanu Prabhu, excellent quotes you've been sharing, Prabhu.
These are like copy in my notepad before pasting it on Facebook with Prabhupada picture. Or on the Nectar from Srila Prabhupada page.
Very cool. Amazing. Jai. So let's see. Now, Dan Prabhu, anything you want to share with us?
I'm listening. Shravanam, I'm listening.
Jai.
I like what's happening. I like the energy. I like the vibration. And I also feel very gratified because without my being part of the conversation has got great power, and it makes you feel good that we're getting somewhere and we're staying on that transcendental platform.
Jai.
That's so important. We're not chit-chatting. We are evoking. That's just the ghosty. You speak from your heart, and your heart is on the transcendental platform. So that's good stuff.
Okay, Bhanu Prabhu, which one should I read, or which one you should read?
This one.
Which one, Prabhu? Oh, okay. Okay, I got it. This is very important. Sometimes it is thought that spiritual life means to retire from active life. That is general impression. People think that for cultivation of spiritual knowledge or self-realization, they should go to some Himalayan caves or some secluded place. That is also recommended, but that sort of recommendation is meant for persons who are unable to engage themselves in activities of Krishna consciousness. Lord Krishna is teaching Arjuna how one can remain in his position, never mind whatever he is, still he can become perfectly in Krishna consciousness. That is the whole substance of the teachings of Lord Krishna. Prabhupada lecture Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 3, verses 1 to 5, Los Angeles, December 20th, 1968. Wow.
So do your duty and engage your duty in Krishna consciousness.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean, we have in family life, we have children, we have father, mother. Everyone should be centered around Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, executing the order of the spiritual master, helping others, helping each other, helping the whole world.
And Prabhu, December 20th, 1968, I was in New York building the altar there. That's my birthday. I gave that lecture.
Haribol, Jai.
Hare-
December 20th, 1968.
Wow.
Well, not done, Prabhu. You're that old?
Now I'm so old that I can't be measured. I'm eternal.
Yeah.
Krishna.
But then again, I could also be that young. But eternal
Right.
can be very quite useful too.
Right. Jai. Bhanu, what's next?
So exactly on it. One is this one.
Okay. His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, ISKCON founder Acharya, quote, one who is intelligent naturally thinks, quote, I am permanent and eternal. Why should I be interested in things that are not permanent? Actually, No one wants an existence that is temporary. If we are living in an apartment and the landlord asks us to vacate, we have to do so, whether we want to leave or not. However, if we move to a better apartment, we are not sorry. It is our nature, however, to want to remain wherever we live. This is because we are permanent and want a permanent residence. The Path of Perfection, Chapter 8, Destination After Death. Yeah.
So the apartment is the body which we
Mm-hmm.
think.
Right. The apartment is the body, and we want to stay in this body forever. That's the natural, a natural thing, huh? Or not natural, the unnatural thing that we want to. What does it say? I'm eternal. Why should I be interested with things that are not permanent? Right. Yeah, and we don't want,
Temporary apartment, we want a permanent
temporary
residence.
apartment, temporary bodies. So then, if we don't want temporary bodies, then we want a permanent.
We don't want to be kicked out of our house.
Right. So
Right.
so how to solve that? Huh? Bhanu?
How to solve that?
How to not get kicked out from this body?
Kicked
What
out.
else?
From the apartment. I mean, if I don't pay my mortgage here, the bank will foreclose on the house. And then the sheriff will come and be like, hey, it's time to vacate. But I don't want to leave this place. I'm very comfortable here. I have all my needs, everything's here. But that is not permanent, right?
Right.
But if I go back to Godhead or go somewhere which is a better place, that I don't have to pay rent and always be happy and not have to work just to, enjoy with Krishna, then what's the difficulty? That's permanent.
Yeah. Permanent residence.
Permanent residence, Jai. What's next, Bhanu Prabhu?
Yes.
Which one? Okay, Srila Prabhupada. The
I found
greatest. You found it?
Yeah.
Jai. Prabhu, can you say where? And I'll put it on the screen so people can see it. What did it say? What's the original books? The original books. Hare Krishna. Let's see, pre-1978. Bhanu Prabhu, can you share the pre-1978? I'm trying to pull it up. It's what's going on here? Oh, can't do it. Okay, so what does it say? Maybe you can read it, Prabhu. Matthew Prabhu, yes, whenever you're ready.
Oh yeah, the reference, it's actually in Nectar of Devotion, chapter 21 pure.
Okay, please go ahead. You can read it.
Okay.
Yes.
I'll share it on the screen. Tell me where is it? Nectar of Devotion what?
Nectar of Devotion.
21.
Chapter 21?
Yes.
Okay.
Qualities of Krishna.
Okay. Qualities of Krishna, chapter 21 of Nectar of Devotion.
Yes.
Okay, pure.
Okay. 1 second, Matthew. Let Bhanu Prabhu bring it on the screen. Jai.
This one?
Yes.
Jai. Amazing.
There are two kinds of supreme purity. When one type is possessed, one is able to deliver a sinful person. When the other type is possessed, one does not do anything which is impure. A person who possesses either of these qualities is called supremely pure. Krishna is both. He can deliver all sinful conditioned souls, and at the same time he never does anything by which he can be contaminated.
Jai, is that what you wanted to share? Amazing.
Yeah, that's
Amazing.
supreme purity.
It's really good. It's really good.
Amazing. There are two kinds of supreme purity. When one type is possessed. When one type is possessed, right? One is able to deliver a sinful person. When the other type is possessed, one does not do anything which is impure. A person who possesses either of these qualities is called supremely pure. Krishna is both. He can deliver all sinful conditioned souls, and at the same time, he never does anything by which he can be contaminated. That's a good point, because when Krishna asked Maharaj Yudhishthira to lie that Ashwatthama is dead, Yudhishthira Maharaj hesitated not to follow his instructions, and for that he had to undergo, a little inconvenience when going, back to Godhead. So you can see here, Krishna is both. He can deliver all sinful conditioned souls. At the same time, he never does anything by which he can be contaminated. So that's a perfect example of Krishna.
It's interesting
Hare
also that
Yes.
that Yudhishthira, when he said Asvatthama, the elephant, is dead, his chariot, which had been floating above the ground, landed on the ground.
Yes. Yes. Because he doubted. Was it because he doubted Krishna's direct instruction? That's why it went down, right? From what I understand, or what they say, they comment that because he
It's not,
hesitated.
wasn't it simply because he told a lie?
Oh, I thought because he hesitated to follow Krishna's instructions, that's why it went down. But I guess maybe it's a lie, or he hesitated.
Well, the chariot hit the ground when he said that. So if it had been they hesitated, it would have fallen first, right?
Yeah, that's a good question. I need to find out. Chariot. What was the reason? Prabhupada says that it went down. Yeah, maybe it's that, or maybe it's the other side.
What is the reason chariot fell? You're saying Narayan Prabhu?
Narayan Prabhu is saying because he lied.
Lied about what
That
others?
Ashwatthama is dead.
Is it Yudhishthira Yamaraj?
Yes, Yamaraj.
Yes.
Yes.
But then a elephant named Ashwadama died, right?
Yeah, was killed.
That he said, Asvatthama, the elephant, is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So he told the truth that the elephant named Asvatthama was dead, and the elephant named Asvatthama was dead. But when he said that, it was to deceive
Dronacharya. Dronacharya.
who was attached to Asvatthama, even though Asvatthama was really substandard.
Yes. Matthew Prabhu, you mentioned this quote. So would you want to share some realizations of what you wanted to say?
Oh, well, I mean, it seems like we're signing up for the first type of delivering sinful people. Agreeing to.
Yes.
Yeah, and just what we were talking about earlier about the pure devotee is more merciful than Krishna himself. Is that there's nothing can when
Right.
when the pure devotee says, I will take you to Krishna, Krishna must take you.
Comply. You must.
It's a process. And the process involves you pleasing Krishna. It's not just the spiritual master will take you to Krishna. He will take you and guide you to how you will become the Madhyamadikari and thereby redevelop your relationship with Krishna so that you will be in a pleasurable exchange with Krishna. That's what Sneha was very nicely put.
Try.
Ramchandra Prabhu, did you get the reason why, Yudhishthira was punished? Or you still are saying you need to search for that answer?
I don't know. I thought it was because he hesitated to follow Krishna's instructions. He hesitated. He thought about it. But Narayan Prabhu is saying because he lied. So
Yeah. Well, remember, he's Dharma.
Yeah.
Yudhishthira is Yamaraj.
Yes.
Yamaraj.
And because of that,
I just asked my mom about this just now
Oh.
while you were talking about it.
Yes.
I wanted to know if she had to say something.
Yes.
So she says it was not a lie when he says Ashwatthama died because he was saying it in context of the elephant, but the intent was to deceive Dronacharya. And we are always punished on basis of our intent and not the word that we take.
It's also a nice point that a punishment from a Vaishnav is always a boon.
well, this is way above our standard, way above our job description. It's amazing. The how Yudhishthira could be, well, he had to follow Krishna. That's the beautiful thing about it. I like what Prabhu is saying, because that's the exact trick to it. He had to follow Krishna because Krishna's God, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and Yudhishthira and Yamaraj are under his authority. Yet, Yudhishthira cannot tell a lie. Just like when he was in the chess game where they lost Draupadi in the chess game, Yudhishthira kept getting beaten because the adversary was cheating him. And Yudhishthira couldn't cheat. That's just his nature. He's Dharma.
And also we can say that if Yudhishthira would have followed the instructions of Krishna and left everything over to him, saying it's not me who's doing this, but it is you, probably he would have not gone through the suffering, because he took it on him, saying that I am not going to lie, probably is why he's going through whatever phase of the suffering he had to. I'm
I
just
think-
thinking, I'm not sure.
I think that pastime took place to prove that, prove what Krishna says is the truth, and that is the absolute truth. To teach us that. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes. So, what's next, Prabhu's?
Well, actually, we're going over a topic that nicely wraps all that up about punishment. That as soon as we're in service to Krishna, any there's no more karmic reaction of the suffering and enjoyment in Krishna's service is actually a burning off of the karma instead of accumulation. So that's a nice point about it. It's in. I'm trying to find the exact verse, but it's Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 10, Chapter 88.
Okay. Ah. Oh, Mahaprabhu, or maybe Shri Prabhu can read this part. The greatest achievement for a devotee.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada says, the greatest achievement for a devotee is to become a servant of the servants. Actually, no one should desire to become the direct servant of the Lord. That is not a very good idea. When Prahalad Maharaj was offered a benediction by Narasimha Deva, Prahalad rejected all kinds of material benediction, but he prayed to become the servant of the Lord. When Dhruva Maharaj was offered a benediction by Kuvera, the treasurer of the demigods, Dhruva could have asked for unlimited material opulence, but he simply asked for the benediction of becoming the servants of the Lord. Kola Vecha Sridhara was a very poor man, but when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to give him a benediction, he also prayed to the Lord to be allowed to remain a servants of the Lord. The conclusion is that being the servant of the servants of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the highest benediction one can desire. Chaitanya Charitamrita, Madhya Leela 14.18 purpose.
Try.
Basically, it's all coming back to devotion then,
Yes.
devotional service.
Yes.
The
So is
lower
that,
Yes.
go ahead.
Go ahead.
Can we not consider that Lord Chaitanya is teaching us to be the servant of the servant, and therefore by making us devotees, by giving us the holy name and diksha through the pure devotees, Srila Prabhupada, we can then serve others. We'll become the servant of the servant of the servant of people that have never heard the holy name yet.
Yes.
That's, I think, the blissful conclusion we can, or the transcendental conclusion we can come to, is that we will be in a position where we are going to be the servant of servants who do not even heard the holy name yet. But because we will be serving them by giving them the holy name, then we will become their servant once they've heard it.
Yes.
Do you like that?
Try. Yes.
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep on, like a shepherd, bringing the sheep into the middle of the fold, because here we are moving in the direction of delivering everyone. And if we can do that, instead of worrying about it, and we do it, that will be the serving the servants of the servants of the servants. And that will go down into the animal kingdom as well. We can be servants of them, and they will become Krishna conscious. It will become so exciting when we have all these jivas to serve. And by serving them, we will experience transcendental ecstasy, but such as we cannot even imagine.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes. Are you familiar with Srila Prabhupada telling some Indians that he is out waking people that are sleeping, but you are pretending to sleep? He was addressing them very harshly, like
Yeah.
I mean,
Yes.
Jiv Jago, Bhaktivinoda talk.
What do we do about that?
Someone who's pretending to sleep? Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Oh.
Bhaktivinoda Thakur talks about that. I mean, sleeping in the witch of the laps of the Maya.
No, I think he's talking about something else, Bhanu Prabhu.
I think I may be aware of that conversation where Prabhupada spoke to a young Indian couple that had recently got married, and they were very enthralled. They were very involved, very happy with each other, etc. And that he said like that you're pretending. How was it you said that, Matthew?
You are pretending to be asleep.
Yeah.
That Srila Prabhupada's waking people up, but if you're pretending to be asleep, how does he wake you up? That's the...
Well, yeah, he made that as a very general comment too, not about a specific person. He said when a person's asleep, if you shout, "Hello, wake up," they'll go, what is it? They'll wake up. Or you tap them on the shoulder, what is it? But if you're pretending to be asleep, you can shout as much as you like and they'll keep on snoring, pretending to be sleeping.
I think
So,
they.
yeah,
Maybe
what do we do about that though?
a kick in the face, maybe, with
And
boots.
that can be done only when we speak the truth out loud.
Jai.
Give them prasadam.
Yeah. Right. That's nice. Jai.
Pretending to be asleep is cheating. Therefore, who is cheating? You're cheating yourself.
Right. Yes.
Yeah, that's something I talked about like pretty early coming to the temple here was that I got invited to a home program, and it was later like told to me that they didn't want me at their home program, and so like the person that invited me, they were like kind of like, what's going on? Like, I thought we were supposed to be doing this, and I just like said to him, well, we'll just have to do our own thing and invite people and not feel bad about not being invited to their thing. Like, it's like, it's just
why didn't they invite you?
just because they like had that like kind of temple mentality. They wanted to be in the association of devotees, and I was like moving in.
Interesting.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
we're on good terms. Like, she actually moved to a house closer to the temple, but she doesn't really do home programs anymore. It's like just like kind of a one-time thing that she didn't feel comfortable like having someone she didn't know in her house, which is fair enough. I never.
Was she a devotee?
Just like the way that like like that the service can go on.
Jai.
Just
was that lady a devotee?
yes.
Okay. Prabhupada distinguishes the difference between the grihastha who opens his door and the grihamedi who shuts his door and just gloats over his private place. You see, the grihastha opens his door to others. Otherwise, he's known as a grihamedi or a miser. Grihamedi means miserly person.
Yes.
So, from what you described, she was meeting the characteristic of the Grihamedi, because she was trying to enjoy her space without thinking that this is a great opportunity for Matthew to take part in spiritual kata. So that's a blunder, a spiritual blunder.
Yeah. So Bhanu Prabhu, what do you think? Should we end it now or should we continue? We started at about how long have we been going on for?
We'll just conclude with this one. And it
Okay.
talks about initiation also.
Okay,
Who is
go
our
ahead.
Shama initiation?
Yes, let's conclude now with one last quote from Srila Prabhupada. Um, Matthew Prabhu, maybe you can finish it off, Prabhu.
Who is a Vaishnav? Ataiva Yanra Mukhe Eka Krishna Nam. Zaita Vaishnava Kariha Tanhara
Let's take this
Sama.
Sanskrit part if you want.
Too late. Okay. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then finally advised one who is chanting the Hare Krishna mantra is understood to be a Vaishnava. Therefore, you should offer all respects to him. Purport. In his Upadeshamrita, Srila Rupa Goswami states, an advanced devotee should respect a person who has been initiated by a bona fide spiritual master and who is situated on the transcendental platform, chanting the holy name with faith and obeisances and following the instructions of the spiritual master. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur comments that serving Vaishnavas is most important for householders. Whether a Vaishnav is properly initiated or not is not a subject for consideration.
Wow.
One may be initiated and yet contaminated by the Mayavad philosophy, but a person who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly will not be so contaminated. A properly initiated Vaishnav may be imperfect, but one who chants the holy name of the Lord offenselessly is all perfect. Although he may apparently be a neophyte, he still has to be considered a pure, unalloyed Vaishnav. It is the duty of the householder to offer respects to such an unalloyed Vaishnav. This is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's instructions, Chaitanya Charanamrita Madhya Lila, 15:111.
Right. I think Narayan Prabhu touched on that point, that the duty of the householder is to serve the other Vaishnavas, especially by inviting them, giving them prasadam, being nice to them, offering them a place to stay, things like this.
I remember reading from Srila Prabhupada that the householder should go out on the street and shout for anyone who wants to take a meal before they take their own.
Are there any, Prabhupada would say, are there any hungry men? Are there any hungry men? You go out before you take your own prasad, because sannyasis would be wandering in those days, or vanaprasthas. They may be a rich businessman, but he's doing nothing but work in Krishna consciousness, chanting and reading and studying, trying to become the Madhyamadikari, obviously. And so as he is going, they say he may have nothing. May just wear the clothes on his back. He may have been a multimillionaire. I've met such a man in Vrindavan. And living like a hermit, a beggar, but a hermit. And yet he was a gazillionaire. So so then you go out and you see somebody walking. You don't have to see. You just cry out with your voice when the dinner is ready. Is there any hungry man? And then if somebody is there, they come. When they come, they will enlighten the family. You see, that's the exchange, the loving exchange. They take the prasadam, but the family is offering the prasadam, but because the wife and the children are talking to each other, and the wife is talking to the children, and the guy is chief in charge of things. Because of that, people get caught up in the Grihameda mentality of the Grahastha life, of getting conditioned to being a householder, just the way ISKCON, you'll see it's like that. And so, the householders. And so what happens is the person who comes, he is there to do what we're doing. Like he has an istagosti in the house, and he inspires the people to think beyond their daily horizontal Kanistadikare on the Appalachian Beach rituals of their life, and instead they come up to hearing what he has to say. They can ask him to stay overnight, and he can stay overnight. It's not prohibited, even if he's out of doors mendicant,
Yes.
devotee. It's not prohibited. But and 3 nights he can stay, but 4 nights out of the question, because after 4 nights he becomes a grihamedi. 3 nights he can enlighten the grihasta from the grihamedi to become the grihasta. After the 3rd night, he just becomes a puppy dog on the cushion in the corner of the room.
He becomes
That's not
infected. Right.
John,
It's been
just
pointed
wanted to
out
share that.
that a majority.
Matthew, you're on a powerful stream. What you're doing is powerful. You're
Right.
thinking, your anticipation, but your anticipation of what you want to find is perfect.
The title of Grihamedi is actually something that society, for the most part, doesn't even live up to. So that's another thing to think about. We got some Krishna consciousness spreading potential.
Jai. Yes. Example is better than precept, Prabhupada says.
Well, in San Francisco, before I became initiated at the temple, the grihastas all had apartments, and they would cook the Sunday feast. So each householder would cook 4 or 5 dishes, and there's like 6 householders. So that
Wow.
you'd be. Then they went to the San Francisco temple. They put a cloth down the middle of the carpet, and all the householder women would be sitting on either side of that cloth with like 40 or 50 dishes on the cloth. And then people would come and they would pass the dish down the group, and each householder woman would put whatever dishes she had within reach onto the plate. So that was like that. It was the grihastas sharing with the renunciates and with the guests, people off the street. And that's how they did, headed by Jamuna, who went on to become a A1 first-class cook. And so that was the process in the temple. In the temple feast, Sunday feast was a gorgeous affair. Not because it was fancy, but because there was so much bhakti in each dish that was cooked in ghee in the homes of the grihastas.
Jai. Haribol.
So I appreciate the document.
Okay.
We download it.
Thank you. Okay, I think we'll end it here. So anyone who's watching on Facebook, YouTube, they can join us tomorrow. We're going to start about 7:45, 8 o'clock California time. So Ishtagoshti program. So everyone is welcome.
Hare Krishna.
Any last words from the devotees here? Shreya Prabhu, Matthew, Banu, Mahaprabhu, Narayan,
Hare Krishna.
Jai.
Haribol, you are all wonderful. I'm so inspired. I was so happy. I came in late, but so happy. Late is better late than never. It was so wonderful.
Hare Krishna.
Always.
Jai.
Jai.
See you tomorrow.
Hare Krishna.